Had to stand alone. Everybody had to get their own, so just give me my chance. It was times I had to stand alone, and it wasn't in my plan.
We back with another banger. Today we about to watch Gen Z Isn't Having Kids by Where's Dave, I'm gonna say, I guess. I don't know. My first time watching them, so let's get into it.
Two things. One, Drake's OVO meal being sold out every location I went to, despite it being out for 3 days. Two, the realization that our generation might be one of the first to not be concerned about having kids at all. When I was younger, the idea of not wanting kids used to sound crazy. I mean, all the older people around me seemed to start having them hella early. Until I realized I'm now approaching the same age they started at, only to look around and notice everyone around me could care less. Since the beginning of time, humans reproducing has always been one of life's
It's expensive out here, bro. It's expensive out here, Jay.
end goals. It's one of the reasons why we're here today. We've always had this innate desire to keep our species going generation after generation. If you were to go back 20, 50, and 100 years ago, you'll quickly notice two things. One, how big families actually were back then. Two, how young people were when starting them. During the ancient times, it was normal for motherfuckers to be starting families before they even turned 18. For baby boomers, the average time frame to be having kids was around 21 to 25. In other words, their early
Whoa! I ain't start drinking yet.
to mid-20s. But when you fast forward to today's time, fuck no. The thought of people having kids in our
Baju, I got a daughter, so, but
generation is hardly ever there. And even when
having another one right now, no sir.
it is, it's quickly shut down or postponed for the same reasons every damn time. I'll never forget this one time I went out for lunch with a few of my colleagues. Now, one of them specifically was on the slightly older side of Gen Z, as he was born in '98. And as conversation was flowing during our lunch break, I just couldn't help but ask him, yo bro, you ever think about, like, wanting kids? I mean, society says you're now at that age to be
Hell no.
Oh, my fault. Why not?
They're too expensive. I can't afford it.
And at the time, I thought to myself, what the hell is this guy on about, bruh? I mean, imagine saying another human being simply costs too much to have. And then I thought just a little bit more and eventually realized how expensive having children actually is. Despite how beautiful having kids may seem, you know, you'd be bringing in new life, start experiencing new beginnings. You'd have a little version of you and your partner running around. But do the expenses start to add up quickly? Because you ain't just responsible for you and your partner's expenses no more. You now have to factor in your child too. I'm talking if you were to have a child in today's time, like right now, as soon as that nigga makes it out the womb, you now have to get them diapers,
3 meals
pacifiers,
every time.
baby food, bibs, cribs, the list goes on and on. Fast forward a few more years, it's time for lil bro to
I
start
get 3 meals every time. Pay for 3 plates.
school.
Think I'm trying to pay for 4, 5, 6, 7? No, not right now. No,
Which
sir.
means you now need school clothes,
I don't know
school
how y'all niggas
supplies,
is doing it.
books, snacks.
Power to all the single moms out here with the little 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 kids. Not even the man. Man. Not that me and my partner struggling, but damn. Damn. She. Nigga, that's a lot. For one person, like 2, 3 kids for one person is a lot, bro. For a single person, bro, that's a lot. So.
And when they're not at school, but instead at the crib,
Cause niggas not having families no more. Like, they're not doing that shit. So
probably want some entertainment. Toys, action figures, puzzle pieces, or Lego sets. Or maybe they don't want to be in the crib. So here come the extracurriculars. Sports teams, dance classes, or some musical lessons. A couple years later, your kid is now entering their adolescence. So here comes the wants for nicer clothes, nicer shoes, more electronics, probably a phone to get a hold of you, and hopefully some bitches as well. And then eventually it's time for them to go to a university or a college. And don't even ask me where the hell you're getting the money for that. I have no idea where that's coming from. When you take all these things into consideration, it don't take long to realize how expensive having a child actually is. Not to mention, this is just for one kid. That's it.
Boy, what I just said, boy. What I just said. So all y'all friends and shit that y'all see, cause I know y'all got some. Y'all got these kids, like 2, 3 kids. Times that by 3.
A lot of us have siblings.
Times that shit by 2.
So you now have to
3.
multiply this amount by however many kids you end up having. And then place that amount on top of your current expenses. And in today's time, niggas could barely even afford themselves. It's not just financial reasons as to why our generation isn't really focused on kids. Nowadays, it seems like people are starting to consider multiple factors before starting families, compared to the niggas before us who seem to just start popping babies because society told them to. Studies showed
No cap. I think back then in the day, bro, they listened to the government more than we did, to be honest. That's really what it was.
that 69% of couples who had a kid before
My generation ain't going for everything, bro. You know? Look at, yeah.
they got married were already split up before the kid even turned 15. So it ain't a surprise that most people would prefer being married before actually having children, but that now involves actually finding someone you like, that likes you back, then falling in love, while staying committed to each other for an extremely long time. I'm sure we're all more than aware of modern relationships, which is why I ain't even surprised hella people tapped out a while ago and couldn't care for serious ones anymore. Every now and then I'll come across some form of a video of people in our generation having a different reason as to why they don't want to have children. Some people are selfish.
Selfish as f, so I wouldn't have no kids. Niggas get mad when I say this, but at least I'm honest. Cause right now, if it's between me and them, I'ma choose me every time.
Some don't want to deal with the
That's a terrible take, but I get where he's coming from. But don't, like, the way he worded that is terrible.
stress.
I don't want to deal with the stress of raising a child, right? Because it's stressful. It may you're less free.
Some hate the sound of them crying.
That's not true. That I hate when people say you're less free when you got, bro. You gotta have a. That's why you gotta have a child in a good support system when you're ready with the right finances and right things in place, so it's not stressful. The only thing that will be actually stressful is like the actual raising of the child, not necessarily like the variables that come into place, if that makes sense. So like, like for instance, my daughter trying to put her fucking finger in the damn socket or something like that. It's more of a stress than like maybe having the bills paid. You know what I mean? Like it's certain thing you shouldn't be worrying about as a parent. You know,
Crying 24/7.
or just already have like checked off as just a normal human being before you even have anybody else. You know, like.
Some people still feel like they're kids themselves. And if we decide to take a step back and look at this concept through a different lens, some women now seem opposed to the idea of even having a person develop inside of them.
The thought of there being a parasite-like thing growing and living inside of me.
Others claim they don't want to go through the pain or destroy their body.
That now you may. I hope you back and about to come with something nice after this clip, G. Cause statistically, I think they said like I read something was like having a baby is like breaking every single bone in your body, bro. I broke one of my bones, bro, or 2 bones in my arm, bro. I felt like I was gonna die, like die. So, for you to make that comment is kind of wild.
Some would prefer to travel the world without them.
You could do both. You could have kids and travel. No!
But the one thing I can take away from all
They're not lying on that part. Because now that situation, I get it. You can't do everything you would do on that trip with like your significant other, or you know what I mean? That you know.
these examples is that our generation seems to
But unless you wealthy, you got a little nanny with y'all in. You see what I'm saying? Finances.
really value our independence and the little freedom we may have. So you can just imagine what it would look like when it's us who has to be responsible for taking care of someone else.
Oh my gosh, babe, he's been crying for the last 2 hours. I don't know what I should do.
I think you gotta rock him back and forth repeatedly while like patting his back.
No shit, David. Obviously, I'm doing that already. But he keeps pointing at your cereal. I think he wants a bowl of your Reese's Puffs.
My Reese's Puff, that's the last bowl of Reese's Puffs in that box. Tell that nigga to get a job. When you look outside your window, the average life consists of waking up, probably working a job you couldn't give a fuck about, and then rinse and repeating for 50 years. A lot of people also spend their entire life being in some form of debt or living paycheck to paycheck. Technology is deadass on the brink of taking over the entire planet. Some of the most powerful or influential figures are straight just doing some shady things behind the scenes or completely inhumane acts, to a point where we've all just become desensitized to hearing craziness on the news or
Mind y'all, we on a floating rock paying taxes.
even the damn internet. Social media continues to distort our perception of reality. I could keep going. And now that I'm looking at it, it all just leads to the same question. If I'm aware of all of this, why the f would I then make the conscious decision to wrap someone into this mess?
Nah, he gotta finish
Now, to
playing
be
that
fair,
clip.
they
Hey,
wouldn't
Chris
really
is
be
going
paying
crazy.
attention to a majority of this for the beginning of their life. I mean, the first 18 years is pretty much the tutorial phase anyways. But what I'm supposed to tell my young niggas once that runs out and the inevitable reality hits, which is quickly followed with a bunch of questions. When they come ask me why the world is the way it is, or how we went from sticks and stones to paying endless forms of taxes,
That's all
I
I'm
won't
saying.
have answers. As time goes on, I'm noticing for some reason there's this disconnect between Gen Z and the older generations when people say they don't want to have kids. Although it may seem like our generation is completely against the thought of having kids, well, some are, but I can almost guarantee for most people, if the economy or even the damn world wasn't in the current state it's in, people wouldn't be thinking this hard about actually having them. In the past, people used to just have kids once they hit a certain age in their life because that was considered to be one of the final or next steps. It's still somewhat considered that today. Only difference is the world wasn't in the state it was back then, so people could deadass afford to not think and still end up completely fine. I always find it funny when some people
No
in the
cap.
older generation seem surprised at the younger people for not wanting to have kids young or even at all, as if we didn't see how much they struggled with managing to raise us. I remember this specific
Oh God, sitting here complaining to me about how you raised me with siblings, but you want me to have more, so I can what? No, no. If I do it again, oh yeah, it's gonna be some money in this bitch.
morning at one of my old
That's
jobs
gonna be some
where I
money.
overheard a
Take care of
conversation between
We're
two
gonna
of
be
the
well-
older ladies, one
overly
of which
well.
was talking about how expensive it was to put her children through daycare.
Ugh, like, Zach and Cody recently had to start going to daycare because me and my husband are always at work. And all I can think about is how expensive it is. But, like, we have no choice because who is going to take care of the kids?
And at the time, I was the youngest at this
I was taking care of you know, the
job
oldest,
and
the
also
oldest
had no
sibling.
kids. So obviously I couldn't really relate to anything they were talking about. But the only thing that was going through my head is how much I didn't want to relate to that at all. The thought of bringing people into this world yet struggling to support them ain't
I ain't gonna lie,
sound
those vibes though, those vibes are the coolest vibes. Y'all tripping, bro, just chilling with your twin. Telling you.
appealing whatsoever. But because this was
Too much
considered
fun
a
after this.
societal norm back in the day, a lot of them genuinely see no issue with it. When you look at artists, athletes, or any people who succeeded in their craft, it's common for a lot of them to drop the Hall of Fame line, they didn't really have a lot of money growing up, which in itself isn't a bad thing. You shouldn't be shunned for your financial circumstances. But it just goes to show how many of us are a byproduct of this exact mentality. One thing I've noticed that's causing this disconnect is that a lot of them didn't have the internet to access as much information like we do, whether it being good or bad. Despite social media being its own form of poison for a bunch of different reasons, there's hella power in being able to connect with a bunch of niggas from all around the world and share perspectives and bounce ideas off of each other. Because a lot of older generations didn't have this, so it's kind of like they just lived within these echo chambers of normalized behaviors that may have not been normal at all. Like having kids too early, or better yet, at a point where you can't really afford them. The old saying goes, just because everyone is able to have kids doesn't mean everyone should. And for some reason, it always be the motherfuckers who are in no position whatsoever to have children who want
I feel that though. It's not even they don't be in position. They just don't think. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what they be going on, bro.
them the most. I'm sure we all know those people we watched have kids in their late teens or early 20s, and you can't help but feel for that kid because their parent is practically a kid themselves. All in all, our generation is facing a very interesting experience when it comes to the thought of having kids. People are realizing how expensive starting a family actually is. A lot of us are starting to think deeper.
Nah, hey, no, for
rather than
real,
just
G.
Babies are cute. Some
Bro, I
of the
step outside. I swear to God, I step outside, bro. I spend $100, bro. I swear to God, like, and that's just minimum, bro.
older generation is looking
Why,
at
though?
us sideways for these thoughts. Blah, blah, blah. There's a reason why the birth rates have hit an all-time low. I mean, you tell me, do you think our generation is opposed to having kids because we still feel like we're kids ourselves? Or are there other factors, we just mask it behind not wanting them? I gotta cut this shit off again, man. I'm starting
Hey,
to...
let me know what y'all feel in the comments, though. Like, why y'all feel like our age range? Bro, we just got out of COVID. Like, we didn't even graduate. We didn't even graduate and get into the server and chill. The server was already tweaking, you know. So
sound crazy again, bruh.
All right, thank y'all for watching today's video. If you like today's video, go ahead and leave me a like. If you want to go check out bro's channel, go ahead and I'm gonna leave the link to his channel in the description. And please hit that subscribe button for me. We're trying to taste that 10K. You feel me? So, and there should be another video that's about to pop up on the screen right here. And you guys have a great rest of y'all day.
Everybody had to get their own, so just give me